Snap, take, y'all. It's Glazer, it's Snap Judgments, and we have the number one deck for you exclusively right here. So let's get started. But first, we got to do a last chance review of Chamber. This week's 2/3 activate +2 power for each 5 cost or higher card you have here and in hand. It's in the best deck in Snap. Get the card. It's that simple. This is a card that is genuinely absolutely humongous. It plays for like a minimum of 2/7, so like its downside is the biggest 2 drop in the regular game, and its upside is completely insane, completely broken, like 215 type power. So get Chamber. It's probably gonna get nerfed at some point, but you're gonna win a lot of games of Marvel Snap and have a really good time with it until then. Chamber may end up being the card of the season, which is really saying something because this is shaping up to be a real strong season. If you would like a really powerful chamber deck, here's one from our guy Cougar, who has a 69% win rate with it. That's right, 69%. That's crazy, right? 69% win rate in like 50 games in top 20 infinite is really hard to do. But Cougar did it with this list. Nightmare absolutely loves the new War Machine. And you get Chamber with that as an extra way to like do all sorts of extra powerful stuff because I mean you're running Blink, Enchantress, War Machine, Red Skull, Giganto, Infinite. That's 6, plus the Valentina card. That's 7 potential cards for Chamber to hit. You love to see it. This deck is just so much power. It's a really gross mix of ramp and just sort of like Red Skull Nightmare meanness. You haven't lived until you've had an Infinite Galactus or a Red Skull hit an Iron Man. So if you have access to these, you should check it out. You can find Cougar playing lists like this at twitch.tv/Cougar, double the O, triple the R. Make sure you're following and ring that bell because Cougar only streams about once a week. This deck needs Nightmare, War Machine, Luna, Snow, Starbrand, Blink, and Chamber. Valentina here can be Iron Patriot without you losing too very much overall. Okay, so Chamber is excuse me, breathing. Chamber is big. Keyword big. So let's say you just have 3 5s in hand, right? On turn 4. And you play Chamber on turn 2. And then you just play Trigger Chamber and you have a 2/9. And like now all of a sudden your like lane that didn't look that big is really hard to compete with because your 2 gave you 9 and then you play a I don't know, let's say a 3/6 Luna, and now you're at a 15 power lane, and you drop even a War Machine there, and you're at a 25 power lane, and that's not even your power lane, because your power lane is wherever the hell you played that Infinite. So, like, you just win a lot that way. Valentina not only gives you a powerful card, but if you don't see Electro or Luna, Valentina gives you play on turn 4. So especially if you're going to go Nightmare, you go Valentina, then you end up playing Nightmare, then you play the Valentina card, and you're totally good to go. Nightmare's not here for that, though. Nightmare's here for Starbrand and Red Skull. Hitting those 2 cards is more than enough. You're obviously not sad to hit Giganta or Infinite reasonably often. Occasionally they'll hit like a Destroyer or something, or Giganta will become Infinite and you'll be annoyed. But most of the time you end up with like just pure upside in those plays, massive power. Electro's ramp. You don't ever deal with Electro's downside because you have Blink, Enchantress, and War Machine. Use one of those 3 cards to not deal with Electro. Luna is similarly ramp, but that doesn't usually have a downside except giving your opponent the energy. Starbrand is a card you play when you Nightmare it. You're not generally otherwise playing it, but feel free to once in a while play it and end up Enchantressing it. Blink gets rid of Electro, nice to have access to. Enchantress takes care of the Starbrand, takes care of the Electro while also wrecking opponents' lives. War Machine lets you play Giganto and Infinite anywhere and play a bunch of cards after Electro. Red Skull is obviously very strong when Nightmared and not very strong otherwise, though if there is a regularly empty lane, he can play for like a 5/12. Remember, he's only like a 5/6 if your opponent has filled that lane. And then Giganto and Infinite are just keyword biggest stuff you can play in a Nightmare or War Machine deck. So with a 69% win rate, turn 2 you play Chamber over Valentina unless you have no ramp, then Valentina comes first. Turn 3 Luna or Electro over Nightmare, and what Nightmare hits can lead to a ramp, or what Luna or Electro are going to hit can lead to a snap. Turn 4 Blink, War Machine, or Enchantress for Electro if Nightmare Starbrand, and Luna can sort of lead to whatever happens. Like she doesn't prescribe your plays as much. Turn 5 is the same idea as 4. Sometimes if we ramp, we'll drop an Infinite or Giganto. Red Skull, if we Nightmared it, is perfectly fine. Turn 6, Infinite or Giganto are usually the play, and then you win. It's not a complicated list. It is a very strong list. I guess Valentina could almost, not quite, but almost be Ebony Maw. It's not like totally insane. So this list is excellent. It's not even the number 1 list, but it is an excellent list that I would all but bet if you have access to this, you could hit Infinite with it. You can climb crazy high with this. This one puts up for real points. Before we get further, hit that sub, leave a like, leave a comment. It means a lot if you throw us that support, so please do. In addition, we are giving away. Why do I never remember to change this? Because I never think about Weapon X, because Weapon X is mid. But you can get them for free, and free is the right way to get them by just subbing, liking, and commenting. All you got to do is that to enter to win a Weapon X. Next up, all right. So Sizer messages me, goes, "LOL, I think I broke things." Or what exactly did he say? I want to check, but I don't want to minimize this screen. So let's see if I can find Sizer's message. Uh, let's see. I want to find you exactly what Sizer sends me. He sends me this list, which he has 500, close to 500 snap points. And then he sent me a 75% win rate in 70 games. Hit rank 1. And then just a smile. That's disgusting. I kept being told when Size was number 1 over and over with Move that he was a Move 1 trick, and I was like, he doesn't. Okay, if you say so. Well, he's clearly not. He doesn't play as much as he used to, so we'll see if he can hold on to number 1. But that's neither here nor there. What this is a hugely, crazily impressive result from what is a deck that really, really benefits you from knowing exactly what your opponent's going to do. You can find Sizer streaming fairly regularly at twitch.tv/Sizer2654. Go support my boy. This deck needs Annie, Merlin, Werewolf, Cannonball, Mercury. Deafening Chord can be Celine. Kate can be sort of any good 2-drop. She's really nice because you want access to extra 1-drops, but not required. Red Guardian can be Mobius. Mobius just shuts down a decent amount of the meta. I really want Stardust in this, but you can't really afford to do it, unfortunately. All right. Hood has 3 uses. All right, first you can send it over with Annihilus. Next, you can Merlin it into a better card or extra energy. And finally, being able to play Cannonball or Annihilus on the last turn with a demon is an awful lot of power. Deafening Chord is the same idea as Red Guardian. It says, screw you, Vicky Hand. I don't want to deal with your crap. I'm gonna just turn that off. Kate has a 50% chance of giving you arrows that can move around your werewolf. And just extra curve filler is nice, especially as discussed with Merlin. Quake is a shock end game winner. Red Guardian is a counter card. Werewolf moves all over, and it gives the deck the power it needs to compete. Mercury goes here with Cannonball for massive power. Also, Mini Move is still a prominent list. Most of the decks in the game outside of the ramp decks are very vulnerable to Shadow King, so here is Shadow King. Hell, and those ramp decks really, really don't like getting that Chamber corded or Red Guardian or Shadow King. Sentry, especially for those ramp decks, is amazing because they're not filling the right lane most of the time, so you Annihilus that over, and you just get massive points out of the Sentry. But you can also turn into a 5-drop with Merlin. Cannonball destroys a thing, Annihilus sends the bad stuff over. So 75% win rate at rank 1. Turn 1 Hood, turn 2 Merlin over Kate, turn 3 Werewolf over Mercury, turn 4 Sentry over a combo of earlier stuff. Turn 5 you can play Annie or Cannonball, especially if you're going to try Red Guardian Shadow King stuff at the end. Cheaper stuff is also fine, you can Red Guardian Shadow King here. Red Guardian or Shadow King or both, or you can play the sort of Annihilus Cannonball stuff with Demon or Deafening Chord as you so choose. This list is awesome. You better know what your opponent's playing and how to answer it, how to counter it if you play this list, but if you do, this one is one of the best lists in all of Marvel Snap right now. Welcome back to Werewolf Annie, first number 1 by .geo back in 2024, January of 2024. But it's back as a top meta deck, so enjoy. Before we go forward, please check twitch.tv/BlueSky. I should be live right around when this video goes live, if not a bit later, so make sure you check it out, come hang out and watch the stream. All right, our season pass question. Since we featured an old deck, what's your favorite old deck? What older deck do you like best? All right, our final list is a Wade Wilson. Wade Wilson is a 2/2 that's when he's destroyed, will get a 1-drop and put it in play from either your hand or deck and give a +1 power. He's probably fine in destroy. No one's got his destroy lists are fine, but destroy is just kind of fine. Safety put him in a Morgan deck, and that's reasonably cool. You need 1-drops to destroy, and getting him back, he gives a +1, and then you destroy that card, and you're going to get the extra +3. It's not the best thing in the world, but it's not bad. A weight is not a requirement for this type of list, but this is a list that he's decent in. Anything that you can destroy that's going to get like Dormammu just fine is fine. So you can find Safety at twitch.tv/SafetyBlade, one of the most brilliant and consistent voices on this channel. Fantastic deck builder. This deck needs a Morgan and Dormammu. Sable, Moira, and Nico can be America, Hawkeye, and Iceman, and Wade Wilson can be Bucky Barnes. All right, so Nico, Rocket, and Sable all grow. So when you destroy them and bring them back, they grow really big. Nico can also draw into Morgan because we can no longer cheat Morgan with Airwalker. Moira gives us extra cards. Extra cards are good. It's not that complicated, right? When you destroy something, you're going to get Angel. Angel's another card to destroy, and then you bring it back with Morgan, and it'll come play itself. So that's always nice. Wade gets you a 1-drop because you do need to see a critical mass of 1-drops. Killmonger, I don't know if you know this, destroys 1-drops. That can be then brought back by Morgan. What you would generally like to do is around turn 5, play Carnage or the Dormammu last spell, and Morgan get back a bunch of cards and just sort of go to town. Dormammu is cheap power, and so is death, and that's kind of it, right? You destroy all the stuff, and then you get those cards for cheap. Wade Wilson is perfectly crime in this list. He's a card I suggest you get for free in case he ever breaks, but right now he's just fine. Turn 1 America, turn 2 Surge over Merlin, turn 3 what the hell? That's not it. Turn 1 is whichever of the 1-drops. Moira if your hand is good, and Nico if it's destroy. Turn 2, you generally want to drop Wade. Turn 3, we can go into destroy 1, whether that be Carnage or Venom. Remember to play your first Dormammu spell. Sometimes it'll be Killmonger, but usually want Killmonger to be a little later. From that point, turn 4, you're going to set up a secondary destroy of Angel, whatever else you can. Turn 5 is your Dormammu spell and Morgan, and then turn 6 is ideally Death and last Morgan spell, and then a bunch of extra 1-drops. Please check out our friend August Turn Zero, who has an awesome channel on YouTube. You can see it right on screen, Turn Zero Drive Home. He also has an awesome Twitter at August Turn Zero. You need to check him out and watch his really, really great content, please. If you're remotely interested in Raid Shadow Legends, you can get a free Xenomorph, that's the alien from Aliens, this week, the rest of this month, just for logging in. And if you use my promo code from any of my raid videos, you can get $200 worth of free stuff. I love the game. I'm going to play it as soon as I'm done with this video. And finally, if you're willing to support us, please check out patreon.com/snapjudgments. We lost a few, so if you're willing to help out, it'd mean a lot. Check out patreon.com/snapjudgments. Thank you to JonesySnap22, Abigail Lisa, Maniter Burnett, LAB, Inc. I am Frostman, Hudson Everett, Ryan Burke, Ryan with Snap, Ryan Wrench, Vera Group Math, Gopher Kev, Caretaker Lee, Corey, Kazushi, Archangel 3K, Black Dahlia, Parafrost, The Goat Seeker, Code, Hollowed Synth, Fat Nick, Absolute Shannon, Dirtay Casual, Dark Moogle, Cables, much love, Mr. Kerfuffle, Cables, Ginger Prime, Philly, Haplo, Kenny Loggins of the Danger Zone, The Bezza, Black Jeebus 23, Skippy G, Jessica Gamble, Such Death, The King of Bros, The Great Kazoo, Werewolf, Capsioda, Colt Clam, David Moo Wingfield, Tristan H. Martin, Brian Kaufman, Matt V, William Nichols, Rayshawn Smith, Charles Washington, Corbin, John Q, Jim McHugh, Stout, ACH1, Baby, Cactus, Jack, Steve-O, Yomiko, Dead Bro, and Gabriel Joe, along with Snap Citizen Joe, Bickety Bickety Boom Bot, Bricks to Click, AQ, Aquilarius Green, Goblin Flam, 56 Spectrum Mix, Only Fox, Matt H, DJ, Bycatchix, Don't Forget Flex, Nick, The Greek Geek, who better reply to that email, Toxic Soul King, Eng Emissary, 10-Man Falcon, Fothorn, Newman, Two Ties, The Great Lord Evans, The Pirate King, Taka, and of course Gunny T, where the T stands for. See you tomorrow. We got to talk about a crazy Weapon H.